Losing your job is stressful, and one of the first questions many Jamaican workers ask is, am I entitled to severance pay? Let's break it down clearly. Who qualifies for severance pay in Jamaica? How it's calculated, and how much notice your employer must give you. What is severance pay? Severance pay is money paid to an employee when their job ends through no fault of their own. This usually happens because of redundancy, business closure, layoff, reorganization. Who qualifies for severance pay in Jamaica? To qualify for severance pay, you must have worked for your employer for at least 2 years of continuous employment, 104 weeks. You must also be permanently employed, be dismissed for reasons not related to misconduct. 2 years of service is the minimum to qualify for redundancy. Next, we will discuss when severance pay is not required. Your employer is not legally required to pay severance if you resign voluntarily. Redundancy payments are for dismissals due to business reasons, not voluntary resignations. You were dismissed for serious misconduct. Severance or redundancy pay is generally not applicable in cases of summary dismissal for an employee's fault or misconduct. You worked less than 104 continuous weeks. An employee must have at least 104 weeks, 2 years, of continuous service to qualify for redundancy payment. You were a casual or a temporary worker. Generally, the Employment, Termination, and Redundancy Payments Act focuses on employees with continuous service. However, seasonal employees who have worked for an employer for 2 or more consecutive seasons may be considered for redundancy if the work ceases. Your contract already provides equal or better benefits. The law allows for alternative schemes or agreements, provided they offer equivalent or superior benefits to the statutory redundancy pay. In summary, not every job ending qualifies for severance payment. Let's look at how severance pay is calculated. Under Jamaican law, severance pay is calculated like this: 2 weeks pay for each of the first 10 years of service, and 3 weeks pay for each year worked after 10 years. This is based on your normal weekly wage, including regular allowances. So, how much notice must you get? In addition to severance pay, Jamaican labor law also requires employers to give proper notice, unless the dismissal is for serious misconduct. Notice depends on how long you've worked. Here is the correct notice period. 0 to under 5 years of work, you get 2 weeks notice. 5 to under 10 years of work, you get 4 weeks notice. 10 to under 15 years of work, you get 6 weeks notice. 15 to under 20 years of work, you get 8 weeks notice. And finally, 20 years or more of work, you get 12 weeks notice. More service means more notice. If your employer does not want you to work during your notice period, they must pay you instead of notice. This is called pay in lieu of notice, and it should equal what you would normally earn during that period. When should severance and notice pay be paid? At the time your employment ends, or within a reasonable time shortly after. Any delays in payment can be challenged. What happens if your employer refuses to pay? If severance or notice pay is delayed or refused. 1. Ask for a written explanation. 2. Keep your termination letter and pay slips. 3. Contact the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, MLSS. 4. File a complaint under the Labor Relations and Industrial Disputes Act. Severance pay and notice pay are legal rights, not favors, once you qualify. Knowing your years of service helps you calculate exactly what you're owed and leave with dignity. If this video helped you, like, subscribe, and share so more Jamaican workers know their rights when a job ends. Stay informed. Stay protected. Don't just work hard, work smart. Know your rights, Jamaica.